Okay, so what we have done, we will see this today. We will see Kaplan. What are the important things that is there in Kaplan? So you can see here, these are the review book. They explain everything in very briefly, and then you can see here explain the related amino acids, answer question. Then we will talk about, and then with amino acid, protein, and enzymes, they are together. What is the mnemonics? Can you tell me what is the mnemonics I told you to remember about essential amino acid? ABB. What is A? Except.
Tyrosine.
Very good. And B for?
Basic amino acids.
All basic amino acid. Okay, and then other B for?
Branch chain amino acids.
All branch chain. 3, 3, 2 means 8 plus math. You can see. What is math? Methionine and threonine. So it's easy to remember. Okay. One is methionine is sulfur containing amino acid. Threonine is hydroxyl group containing amino acid. Branch chain, basic, aromatic amino acid. You can see here this amino acid, and when I told you about hydrophobicity and hydrophilicity, see this, they have also focused on hydrophilicity and hydrophobicity, because this is very important for us to understand hydrophilicity and hydrophobicity. You can say hydrophobic, tyrosine and phenylalanine are precursor. We will talk about that precursor. Tryptophan can form. So these functions, they have elaborating function. These are hydrophobic amino acid and function of hydrophobic amino acid. So proline is aliphatic and we have already done. What is proline? Is not present in secondary alpha helix. It is more predominant in our alpha chain. There is difference between alpha helix. Alpha helix is right-handed, present in all protein. It is secondary structure of protein. Alpha chain is left-handed, only present in collagen. So this proline is part of collagen, that is alpha chain, not part of alpha helix. It is very less in alpha helix. So it is written here. Okay, then hydrophilic amino acid, you can see acid, base, and salt. I have told you neutral, acid, base, and neutral amino acid. You can go through this. Okay, and then there is one additional information here. Okay, so serine and threonine, these are hydrophobic amino acid. They are helping in formation of addition of glycan side chain, side chain, that is O-linked glycosidic protein. So there are two types of glycosidic protein. One is N-linked. I told you N-linked requires dolicol. You can distort the name dolicol. You can call it donicone. I have used to remember donicone. So donicone does N glycosylation here. O glycosylation, N glycosylation happens with asparagine, and O glycosylation happens with serine threonine, and donicone does not help with that. Only donicone help with that. Dolicol is related to your cholesterol synthetic pathway. And cysteine contains sulfur, can form disulfide bond to stabilize tertiary structure. Disulfide bond, especially in which you have seen antibody. Antibody has got disulfide bond. Many other molecules will have. So antibody is very classical example. Many immunoglobulin, many immunity related protein has disulfide bond, very rich. Other protein also has disulfide bond. So this disulfide, your LDL receptor has disulfide bond. So this disulfide bond stabilized tertiary structure and quaternary structure, asparagine. These are the additional information you can see here. Now we have already done this in nice detail. We have done it in nice detail, and you can see here written arginine, ARG. So everything 3-letter designation you can see here, and you can see how they have focused this side chain also, arginine, and then so more you go through a structure, more confidence you have in biochemistry. You can see this is like you go through this hemoglobinopathy type of question, go through this. I want you to go through this because we will not be able to cover everything at one go. just go through it. So protein turnover and protein actually lysosomal will digest intracellular, and then we have our own system of digestion, ubiquitin system. So misfolded protein will be degraded by ubiquitin system, proteasome, UPS. Okay, what is the set? UPS, ubiquitin proteasome system. And then chaperone. Chaperone try to fold it, and if there is misfolded protein, that will be degraded. So UPS chaperone is a quality control system. Ensure that protein should be nicely folded. UPS chaperone or chaperone. What do we call? Just remember CHAFFERON. So you just remember that. So this protein will actually control that protein folding. Lysosome will degrade the endocytosed protein. If there is misfolding problem, ubiquitin will degrade, and if there is protein that is endocytosed, will be degraded by lysosome, not misfolded protein. Just remember the difference. Yeah. So we have done this essential amino acid. We have done.
I didn't get that point for the folding and the other one.
You go and study yourself, because I will tell you a little bit, because this is not part of I'm reviewing Kaplan. That is so see, I will tell you. So it's difficult, so it will rob our time a little bit. Okay, anyway, so if you asked me, I'm going to tell you. So you can see this is endoplasmic reticulum, and there will be protein synthesis. Okay, protein synthesis will be there, and inside this endoplasmic reticulum or cytosolic protein will be synthesized here in the cytosol. Anyway, this both protein has to get folded. This has to get folded. So folding will be done by chaperone. Here also chaperone. But some protein, even in presence of chaperone, will not be folded. So some protein will happen. What happens to some protein? It will be misfolded. So this misfolded protein, whether inside the endoplasmic reticulum, the misfolded protein will. So for example, see, this is misfolded protein. Here is also, see, this is misfolded. This misfolded protein will be degraded. This should not be there in the protein. Degraded by what? Ubiquitin proteasome system. Ubiquitin proteasome system and proteasome system. I want you to note these points. Note the chaperone and this ubiquitin proteasome. And this is, I've told this actually, these two, chaperone, we have done TBL, but you forgot, and UPS system. Go and note this 2 point and go and study about chaperone and UPS system. These two systems maintain proper folding of the protein inside cell. Got that? And any cell. Yes, Ketura, you understood?
Yes, sir. I get it. Thank you.
Okay. So if some cell endocytose the protein, this protein will be degraded by lysosome. The lysosome will fuse with phagosome. It will form phagolysosome. And this protein will be degraded inside. Endocytosed protein will be degraded by your which lysosomal enzyme. There are enzymes, lysosome. We have done this lysosomal. We already talked about this lysosomal enzymes also in protein digestion. These are generally cysteine proteases. Cathepsins are there. So they will digest this. These are hydrolyzed. Go and see the initial part of protein digestion. Then you will find this. Okay. And proteasome system, you go and study yourself. And I have also sent you some slides or some material on TBL. Go and review that material. These are a very important thing. Okay. We did not cover in our lecture, but these are very important things. I'll tell you. Go and study, write this chaperone UPS system and go and study about this. And this also about lysosomal enzymes. Okay. So let's see, we were reviewing this protein completely. Now we have seen this protein. Okay. So you can see amino acid, we did 10 essential amino acid, you can see 10 essential amino acid and 10 non-essential amino acids. So why we explained why amino acids are essential, because complicated side chains we have done only. So we will talk about nitrogen balance little bit in amino acid metabolism after with this, because amino acid catabolism we have already done, urea cycle amino acid catabolism. Here we will talk little bit about amino acid metabolism, and there we will talk about a little bit about this nitrogen balance. Nitrogen balance means your nitrogen sole source of nitrogen is your amino acid. So we don't call it amino because some amino acids are synthesized, but nitrogen you have to get from amino acid. Even it is essential, non-essential amino acid you have to get from this. That is why we call it nitrogen balance rather than amino acid balance. So in conceptually it is amino acid balance, okay, but we call it nitrogen balance because some amino acids can be synthesized in our body and we require for that nitrogen. And biochemistry, so we have done up to this, so let's directly go. So this I don't think this is related right now. We have already done these all things, so these are, you can see what are the important things here mentioned, so that you will have a concept of significance. What are Lineweaver-Burke plot is important. You can see inhibitor activators are important, so you can go back and read those things again. Competitive cooperative enzyme kinetics, what is that? So it is important. So you can see we have done all this transport kinetics, so we have done this, so you can see this. So this is first number question. Just go through this question and tell me the answer, okay? And be quick, because if we are doing some extra thing, we don't have that much time to do our own class. So try to do quickly as possible. A peptide is this: alanine, arginine, histidine, glycine, and glutamine is treated with peptidases to release all amino acids. The solution is adjusted at this pH, means neutral pH. The electrophoresis is performed. In electrophoretogram depicted below, the amino acid indicated by the arrow is the most likely to be, which is this amino acid. You can see this is negative charge. So this is negative electrode is attached here, okay, and positive electrode is attached here. So amino acid moves from this to this, okay. See this, there is the sample is added. Some amino acid move here, some amino acid move here, or it is middle, you can call it in middle. So what is this amino acid? Sorry. Can anybody tell me? Be quick. Sonia, Ketura, Phoebe.
Sir, could it be arginine?
Yes, why do you think so? Just try to give your own reason, no problem.
Okay, because arginine has a positively charged R group.
And then, don't you think histidine has?
Yes, it does also.
And then, so why not histidine? Why only arginine? You are right, but why?
Could it be that arginine is has a greater
Positive charge. Very good. That is a good answer. It has a greater positive charge than histidine. And we will talk about today about this charge capacity a little bit. Then we will move forward. So arginine has greater charge. This is a very important thing. So charge of arginine is frequently asked question. Okay. So understand that. And histidine, this basic amino acid charge is frequently asked. So basic amino acid charge becomes important for our body utilization also. Our actually body machinery, molecular machinery utilizes this characteristic of arginine, histidine. Okay, so what would be this next amino acid? Though question is only one, so what would be this? Can you tell me? Try to answer this. What would be this next?
I guess histidine.
Yes, histidine. Then this. This will be
Glycine.
Neutral type of amino acid, you can see. This is the neutral point in between these two. Glycine, yes. And then next, alanine also. That is why you can see it is made a big. Glycine, alanine both. What is this should be? This should be?
To be glutamate.
Easy. So you understood the properties, you understood the property, then you answered one question. Very good. So if you understand the property of amino acid, you will be able to answer such questions nicely. Okay, then 5 number question. Okay, we have 2 questions here in Kaplan on amino acid. Okay, so several complexes of mitochondrial electron transport chain contain non-heme iron. Non-heme iron, you know, iron sulfur compound. Did you forget or you remember? Complex 1, 2, 3. Complex 1, 2, 3 all have iron sulfur complexes. Complex 4, instead of iron sulfur, it has got copper A, copper B complex. Okay, remember that. Complex 1, 2, 3 all have iron sulfur complex. Complex 4 have alternative compound containing copper, not iron. So see this. Iron is in those complexes bound tightly to thiol. Thiol means SH. Ol. Thiol means sulfur. Ol means OH. So thiol means SH. You know sulfur present in the same group of periodic table. Same group of periodic table just below oxygen in group 6B. So you can go and see periodic table also. It will make your concept better. If you see, look at the periodic table, you can find periodic table in your Google also. So it will make your concept better. So don't hesitate to see that also. So iron in these complexes is bound to thiol group of which amino acid? Be quick to answer.
Sir, would it be methionine?
Methionine, okay. Methionine is one answer, no problem. It is sulfur containing amino acid. That is good.
Cysteine.
Cysteine or methionine. The other cannot be, okay. Only cysteine and methionine. And cysteine is a correct answer, okay. Cysteine is the correct answer. So what happens? You can see this. So this, if you talk about methionine, what happens with methionine? Methionine has got, I will write this is amino acid. So alpha carbon. Okay. And this has got sulfur. So side chain will be different. What is this side chain? There is 2 carbon here and then sulfur group here. And then this sulfur group is bound with carbon. Okay. So this is like sulfur is like island in between 2 flowing water, you can call it. So in between, sulfur is in between these 2 methyl group. Therefore, sulfur cannot form bond with iron. Okay, cannot form bond with iron. Whereas if you see cysteine, this is amino acid, amino and acid. Now cysteine has this mid group, and in this position you can see this sulfur and hydrogen group. So this is free to form bond with iron. Especially F3 plus, not F2 plus. Okay, so this will not, but there is like it, you know, through transsulfuration reaction, this can be converted into this transsulfuration reaction. Sulfuration reaction, this can be converted into this. What is this? CBS enzyme, vitamin B6, and then carbon comes from 7. Remember this transsulfuration type of reaction, this can convert into this. Now, so this is utilized by you know, at this position, what happens? Your nucleoside adenosine will bind here. And you know, because of adenosine is bulky group, it will draw electron with it towards its side. So electron will be drawn. And you know, this is sulfur is also a electronegative element. So this will also draw this electron. So this this bond become weak bond. And this weak bond has very high transfer potential. High transfer potential. And this can be transferred. And you know, this methyl group, after rejuvenation, it came from what? Methyl tetrahydrofolate. Don't forget that. THF. If methyl tetrahydrofolate is not there, this homocysteine will not get rejuvenated. Methionine is homocysteine plus methyl group. So this will transfer methyl group to form creatine, epinephrine, from norepinephrine, and then gene regulation, methylation. So this is the very important function of, because this is present here, that is why this methionine is able to transfer methyl group. So function of this methionine, extra non-protein function of methionine is methyl transfer after forming SAM. Okay, you can see the non-protein function of this cysteine is different. This is basically a protein function. Non-protein function of cysteine is, you know, taurine, formation of taurine. Okay, it also provides, cysteine also provides sulfate group, and that sulfate group will be added to galactosyl. What is galactosyl? Galactosyl ceramide is part of myelin, and sulfate group is added here. It becomes sulfo-galactosyl ceramide. So you can see here, serine is also very important. Sorry, cysteine is very important for formation of sulfo group for galactosyl ceramide for myelin. So in any way, these are non-protein function. Protein function, this is actually basically protein function, binding iron sulfur complex, disulfide bond formation. These are protein function. Okay, so understand these things. Cysteine, methionine, this sulfur containing amino acid becomes very important because homocystinuria is related to it. The disorder homocystinuria is related to this, and these are related. So understand why I'm focusing repeatedly on the sulfur containing amino acid. When you study this sulfur containing amino acid metabolism, you are at the same time, you are also studying your everything. You are studying you are studying vitamins also when you study sulfur containing amino acid. So did you understand this concept?
Yes, sir.
You understood the sulfur containing amino acid metabolism nicely. This, what is the role of methionine in transfer of methyl? This is just repetition. And what is the relation between this methionine and cysteine, and then how cysteine help in other function? So these are important functions. Just note this through this. Okay, so we will talk today about, actually little bit, we will talk very little about amino acid. We will show what is this third charge. I will show what is this third charge, then I will move forward. So you can see this, you know, pKa, you know the pKa. What is pK? pK, you know pK. pK is property of partially ionizable compound. Okay, compound. If you see the definition of pK, it will explain this. What is pK? pKa or pKb will be there. Anyway, just remember pK. pK is the pH at which you can write this, you understand this nicely. Acid base is partially ionized, which is half ionized, sorry, half is half ionized. Half ionized. You can get this from your Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. You can write it pH is equal to pK plus ln log salt. Salt means ionized form by acid. Log salt by acid. If salt and acid becomes equal, so this will become what? 1. And you know ln 1 or log 10 to the power actually. Log 10 to is power. This is 1. This means 0. So you can see this becomes 0. So pH is equal to pK. So we can derive this from Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. You must have been taught about this in physiology, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
So this pK is pH at which this acid base is half ionized, means acid is half salt and half acid. So half ionized, this is called pKa or pKb. For base it is pKb. Anyway, pK, this is called pK. So this is property of partially ionizable compound, means this is not a property of strong acid or strong base. Not strong, not property of, very important, write this, strong acid or base. This is not a property of strong acid or base. This is property of weak acid or base. And you know organic compound has weak acid or base, not inorganic. Sulfuric acid is strong acid. HCl is strong acid. These are strong. This is not the pK is not the property of this. pK is property of weak acid and weak base. And this weak acid and weak base perform as buffer because it has ability to bind with hydrogen ion tightly, not this. So weak acid and weak base are qualified to become buffer. Weak acid and weak base, very important concept, and it has the characteristic called pK. pK is related to buffer compound. You understood that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a very important concept. Now I will tell you. So you can, if you can see hydrophobic aminos, these are all hydrophobic. There is no soluble R group. R group A does not have pK. It is not ionizable. pK, if there is pK 2, 1 is for carboxy group. Okay, all carboxy group has pK around 2. You can see around 2. Okay, around 2. Remember that, around 2. And this NH2 group, NH3 group all have pK around 10, 2 and 10. So you don't have to remember, you can see all have this. Because this has amino acid, you can see all have around 10. 9 to 10, you can see around 10 and 9. All have around 2 COH group. But insoluble, that is non-soluble, does not have this side chain polarity, side chain ionization. So which have only which is soluble. Soluble are, let's first talk about acid. This 2 acid. Acid has COH. So they have pK around 4. Very easy, double of this. pK around 4. Now, that is why they are soluble, very soluble. Normal pH, they are very soluble. Now you can see base, this and this. This base has got this. These are ionizable, this base has this. Among that base, arginine, because it has got 3 nitrogen, and I told you, just remember this, create a triangle. 4 nitrogen, this arginine. I am repeating it because this group, if you memorize, this group is very important group. So 3 triangle, make 3 triangle. This will become triangle. This is a guanidino group. Forget about bond. At least remember this. And with one of the carbon, not one of the nitrogen, not with the carbon. This whole 5 carbon chain is attached. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 carbon chain is attached. A amino, because it is amino, and acid. Easy. So this is arginine because it has got 3 nitrogen. That is why you can see arginine is highly positively charged. It has got alkaline region. It has got pH around alkaline region. Okay, 12.5 means it is positively charged. Okay, you can see lysine. Lysine has got only one NH3 group, so it has got this. It has got imidazole group, both are bond, and actually these are basically satisfied with the double bond. They will form a type of conjugation with this around this molecule. That is why they are less positive. But very important thing is that less positive, but you can see third pKa is around 7. It is you know, at 37 degrees Celsius. I will tell you one very important thing. You know, at 25 degrees Celsius, the neutral pH is 7. As you increase the temperature, your pH decreases, neutral pH decreases. So at your body temperature, neutral pH is basically 6.8. Did you know this?
No, sir.
Your neutral pH, your body's neutral pH is 6.8. And you know, see this, the neutral pH of this is very similar to the pKa is very near to this. So pK, what is the buffering action? You know, buffering action is in range of 1. So pK plus minus 1 is buffering range. So this matches your pH level. So this side chain has very important role in buffer action. Wherever you see protein buffer, have you studied about protein buffer?
Yes, sir.
Yes, protein buffer. Your albumin, hemoglobin also has this buffering capacity. All buffering capacity by this amino acid is borrowed by histidine. All buffering action by this amino acid is borrowed by histidine. Very important function of histidine is buffer action. You know, this is very positively charged. Okay, this also contribute. The primary is the histidine. Contribution is histidine. This also help in balancing acid base, but this is the primary function of this histidine, is the main function. Histidine is the main player for buffering action. Got that? Now this is main thing what I have to make you understand. So these are the important thing. Okay, so I don't want to go into other chemistry. Okay, actually the curve, if you see this this chemical curve of this any amino acid, if you use the KOH curve is given, double saturation curve is called. So this saturation curve will go first. What will happen? There will be resistance first at the pKa level. So first there will be what? There will be change in pH. Okay, change. This is pH. So there will be change in pH initially, and at pH first 2 pH, because COH2, there will be stagnation, because at 2 this pH, the COOH group will first resist the change because it is weak acid. Now then there will be sudden again pH change. This is the property of saturation curve, and then again there will be resistance by pH change at pH 8. This is how pKa is determined. Through chemically, pKa is determined through this. We take a solution, we add this potassium hydroxide, and then we measure the pH. And then the first resistance to pH change, pH constant, you can see pH will be constant here. So pH constant will be addition of this. pH constant will be at 2 to 3. And then second pH constant will be around 10. So 10 signifies a presence of amino group. And this signifies presence of this. And this is how generally the scientists discovered amino acid has got 2 type of group. One is alkaline type of group, one is carboxy type of group, by doing this simple experiment. And that is why simple experiment is discussed somewhere. So understand this. So curve is biphasic curve will be there. First resistance by this, the curve, and second resistance will be by this. So you can see biphasic curve you may find somewhere. I gave you concept. This concept is about this pK concept. Okay, we did this properties of amino acid in relation. So we will talk about this. Today we will talk about the function of amino acid. You can see its function. You already know the function of amino acid. We have done many functions. You can see phenylalanine converts into tyrosine, DOPA, and actually in physiology also you have been taught about this. Tyrosine, and tyrosine converts into DOPA, DOPA converts into dopamine, and dopamine converts into norepinephrine, norepinephrine into epinephrine. You know, this DOPA is converted into, what is the full form of DOPA now, right now? Can anybody tell me?
Carbidopa.
Full form of DOPA. Full form of DOPA. Full form of DOPA. Full name of DOPA. See, dihydroxy, dihydroxy, PA for phenylalanine. Phenylalanine is this molecule. This molecule. Okay. This is phenyl group, and then this is alanine group. Let me write it. This is alanine, means 3 carbon. Alanine. NH2 COOH. This is phenylalanine. Now phenylalanine, here OH group is added. This becomes tyrosine. And this OH group is, for addition of OH group, a very special type of coenzyme comes here. The coenzyme is called tetrahydrobiopterin. Remember, this is a very important concept. We will talk about this. We require this this reaction. Actually, the deficiency at this place will cause phenylketonuria, tetrahydrobiopterin. Very similar to, you'll see the structure, you will see very similar to half of the folate. So this actually can be synthesized in our body from GTP. So that is why this is not essential. It can be synthesized in our body from GTP. And you know, GTP is also synthesized from our body. From what? From glucose. Anyway, glucose and amino acid part. Ultimately, every carbon comes from glucose and amino acid. And carbon dioxide, you can see carbon dioxide. So carbon dioxide, you know, carbon. Don't forget carbon. And this glucose is pentose phosphate, and carbon guanine. So remember that, everything. So this is phenylalanine converts into tyrosine by very important compound tetrahydro. Again, tyrosine again convert into this DOPA. So adjacent hydroxylation will happen like this. First hydroxylation, second hydroxylation. This is called dihydroxyphenylalanine. See one thing. Why is this compound called dopamine? This catecholamine. Why is this dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine, they are combinedly called what? Catecholamine. Do you know why it is called catecholamine? Yes. Please be quick. Sonia, am I audible?
Yes, you are. I just don't quite remember.
You don't remember. So, you know, have you studied chemistry like this? Chemistry, the compound, benzene compound containing OH group here. What do you call? When OH group is present at opposite position, then if OH group is present like this, what do you call? Benzene. And if OH group is present like this, what do you call? Anyone remember? Anyone have you studied organic chemistry?
Yes, sir.
So see, you must have studied, at least even if you don't remember the name, at least you have studied these 3 compounds, haven't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can see, I will tell you, this is called we have seen this is quinone, we have studied coenzyme Q. And in vitamin K also we will study this type of compound, quinone. So this opposite is called hydroquinone. Hydroquinone. This is called hydroquinone, and this is a very important compound. We study the vitamin K has this type of group. So we will study in vitamin K about this hydroquinone, and in coenzyme Q also this is present. And this is actually not I haven't seen come across in our organ in biochemistry through this compound, but I know this. This is called resorcinol, and this is called catechol. And from this name is derived as catecholamine, because you can see this dopamine is synthesized after vitamin B decarboxylation. CO2 is released. What is this CO2 is released? You know this. This CO2 is released. This is released. Okay. Now this becomes what? This becomes catecholamine. This is dopamine. First addition, hydroxylation, second hydroxylation, then decarboxylation. This becomes dopamine. Where is it? Third three-step process. Now what will happen? That is by amine of dopa, dihydroxyphenylalanine. I am trying to make you understand the meaning, molecular meaning of everything. So understand this. If you understand this and revise it, you will never forget. So this is dihydroxyphenylamine, dihydroxyphenylamine, ethanolamine. Now you can see here is the vitamin C that comes, that will put hydroxyl group here. So this is called beta hydroxylase. This is a beta hydro. What is this beta? This is functional group. Now after elimination of this COOH group, this is functional group, and this is alpha carbon, this is beta. So beta hydroxylase. So you can call it dopamine beta hydroxylase. Simple. Just remember hydroxylase. It is hydroxylase. And which hydroxylase? We have seen hydroxylation reaction by vitamin C also in collagen. Here also hydroxylation. So you can combine everything together. So this is the power of concept. Now, when you go further, this is SAM. Norepinephrine is converted to epinephrine. And you know the SAM is methyl donor. Methyl is added here at amino group. So this becomes epinephrine. Norepinephrine, epinephrine. Did you understand now? Synthesis 9.
Yes, sir.
Why it is called catecholamine? Did you understand why it is? What are the changes, molecular changes? So you can, if you remember this phenylalanine structure, you will able to make the everything. So first is dopa. Dopa is dihydroxy. Simple. From phenylalanine, dihydroxy is formed. 2 hydroxy group. This is catechol ring. This is catechol ring. That is why they are called catecholamine. All have amine. These are all called catecholamine. So this is a very important concept. If you remember conceptually, you will remember everything. So I have tried to connect it with chemistry, very fundamental of chemistry. You will understand, I think. So this is the pathway. And you know the significance of SAM. I have been telling from the beginning. And melanin is synthesized from dopamine. Melanin is basically a polymer type of compound that is synthesized in melanocyte, that is synthesized by melanocyte under influence of MSH, melanocyte stimulating hormone. So melanin is synthesized, and this is MSH, and melanocyte also activated by UV rays. So MSH under influence of MSH and melanocyte, so UV rays, this melanin is a polymer type of compound. You can see this is indole type of compound, this polymer, many type of indole compound, polymer of this ring. So this is melanin. Melanin is of 2 types. You can see eumelanin. U means true melanin, and there is pheomelanin. Pheomelanin. This is red, and this is brown black. One is brown, little bit change. This is also 2 types actually. Just remember only 2, U and pheo. This is brown black. This is red. So this is melanin synthesized from this. Now, what is the enzyme here? Tyrosinase is the first enzyme here. Tyrosinase. So if tyrosinase is deficient, this is albinism. and it is X-linked recessive disorder, albinism. You will see. Now, thyroxine is actually tyrosine when it is part of a thyroglobulin. Then there will be series of reaction. One reaction I have already mentioned, NADPH oxidase. Don't forget that. This is a very important reaction. And peroxidase, oxidase and peroxidase. Okay, so this reaction will convert this into tyrosine into thyroxine, dimolecular. So you must have studied in your physiology. Tryptophan is very easy. Tryptophan, we have seen this tryptophan. From tryptophan, vitamin B6 is required to synthesize niacin, vitamin B2. Add one more thing, vitamin B2 also is required. But this, even if you forget this, no problem, but you have to remember this, okay? Tryptophan, vitamin B6 required to niacin. We have done that, okay? And this is a very important reaction. You know, 3 disorder. One is related to consumption, other is non-absorption, and third is related to non-conversion. So 3 reaction is related to this reaction. That is why this is very important. Now from tryptophan, the same thing, decarboxylase will again come here. Hydroxylation and decarboxylation, again same type of reaction. One hydroxylation will happen by this tetrahydrofolate. So tryptophan hydroxylase, and then this hydroxy tryptophan decarboxylase. Very easy to remember. Hydroxy tryptophan decarboxylase, and what is formed is this will cause hydroxylation at 5 position. That is why this becomes 5, and this serotonin becomes tryptamine. So 5-hydroxytryptamine is name of serotonin. Very easy to remember. So from serotonin, melatonin is formed. Melatonin is required for sleep. Okay, this is induced sleep. It is synthesized. Melatonin is synthesized in pineal gland. Okay. Now histidine, again same, decarboxylase from histamine. Very easy. Only one is decarboxylation. No, here hydroxylation, decarboxylation. Here no hydroxylation, only decarboxylation. Glycine, we have seen this porphyrin, synthesis of porphyrin, glycine plus succinyl coenzyme A. Vitamin B6 is the first reaction, ALA synthase. So this is vitamin B6 function again. Glutamate, again glutamate decarboxylation we have discussed. So this decarboxylation will form, glutamate decarboxylase from GABA, inhibitory neurotransmitter, and glutamate will form glutathione. Glutathione, we will talk a little bit about glutathione. We have done arginine. Arginine is very important for nitric oxide synthesis. We have seen urea cycle, it is an important part of urea cycle, and it is also required for creatine synthesis. So let's little bit, I will talk about creatine. Now, I will tell you one thing. There are 2 amino acids. You must have studied in your neurology. It is not written here. These 2 amino acids are neurotransmitter. This is glutamate. Glutamate. It is neurotransmitter, excitatory neurotransmitter, you know, of central nervous system, brain, excitatory neurotransmitter of brain. Okay, and the second neurotransmitter, glycine, is inhibitory neurotransmitter of spinal cord. Glycine is amino acid as well as neurotransmitter, inhibitory neurotransmitter of, and this glycine is involved in tetanus, rigidity of this opisthotonis of tetanus disease, Clostridium tetani, because of this tetanus toxin will cause something, and that will actually, and this actually involved in this. Actually, inhibitory neuron will be damaged, and then because of that, there will be excitatory only. So tetanus will have relation with glycine. So glycine and glutamate are amino acid and neurotransmitter as well. Don't forget. Let's talk a little bit about creatine. Creatine, okay? Creatine. So creatine, I told you. How do you remember the structure of creatine is synthesized from? One from arginine, and 2 other amino acids contribute for this. G, one is G for glycine. Again glycine. Glycine is Very important here also. See, this is important but non-essential. Glycine, arginine, and then GAM. You can remember GAM or GAM. So M for methionine. What is the role of methionine? Again, you know, methionine, role played by methionine through SAM. So let's see draw the structure of creatinine. It is very easy. You know the structure of this arginine. Create a triangle for arginine. This type of triangle. And put this double bond 1 and this. This is arginine. Now, what is the role of glycine? I will put the role of glycine. Role of glycine will be supply of this ethanoic acid. Actually, this one of the nitrogen is also of glycine. So glycine is 2 carbon compound. So this is acetate and this is guanidinoacetate. What is the role of this? This methionine, addition of methyl group here. So if you remember that this guanidino group, you are understanding the structure of creatine also. Okay? You are understanding the structure of creatine also. This is creatine. And then actually hydrolyzed product of cyclic product of this creatine becomes creatinine. So there is one phosphate group, okay? I am forgetting where to add phosphate group. You go and check that. Okay, I'm adding here right now. I may be wrong. Okay, phosphate group. This becomes creatine phosphate. And this phosphate will form bond like this. So this becomes cyclic, and this will formation of bond will make it creatinine. So creatinine is a waste product, and you do this creatine clearance. You measure this creatinine in creatinine clearance and kidney function test, renal function test, as a renal function test. So we have done creatine is synthesized from arginine. The major portion, this is the part that is contributed by arginine. Actually, this comes from glycine only. Anyway, if you remember this guanidino, add through this, create a triangle for creatine, create a triangle for creatine, and decorate this triangle. One with acetyl group, other with methyl. Acetyl and methyl, decorate the triangle with acetyl and methyl group. This becomes creatine. Very easy. So this is creatine. Okay. Also, you can see the function. I want you to read function yourself. You can see this is melanocyte. Melanocyte is responsible for melanin deficiency. You know, albinism. You must have studied in your genetics, autosomal recessive. So this is X-linked recessive or autosomal recessive? Sonia?
Autosomal recessive.
Autosomal recessive?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So why in my brain it was X-linked recessive? Anyway, autosomal recessive. Okay. See. So go and read yourself. Tyrosinase enzyme deficiency will cause this. Go and catecholamine synthesis we have done. This is synthesis we have done. So amino acid function, you know, tryptophan function we have done. This melatonin secreted by pineal gland, you can see. Glycine we have done. And add one more thing. Inhibitory neurotransmitter, okay? In spinal cord. So these are the function we have done. And methionine, very important, SAM. From SAM contribute to creatine. SAM contribute to creatine. Also to epinephrine. You can write epinephrine also. SAM contribute epinephrine also. And SAM also contribute to gene regulation. So you can write everything here related to SAM and methionine, because SAM is methionine, modified methionine. Arginine, nitric oxide, and creatine. GABA, you have gone through. So what is glutathione? You can easily remember gluta for glutamate, thio for cysteine, and on, just remember it is glycine. Glutathione. Creatinine, GAM, very easy to remember. Glycine, arginine, and methionine, very easy. So phenylalanine, you know, this is phenylalanine. You already know, we have already discussed this. Tryptophan, this is tryptophan, and this is serotonin. You can see one hydroxyl group has been added, and this decarboxylation form BH3 tetrahydrobiopterin plus this decarboxylation facilitated by vitamin B6 containing decarboxylase enzyme. Last function of vitamin C. He is a very good man and neurotransmitter synthesis. You can see this histamine. Histamine just by vitamin 6 decarboxylation cause histamine. So arginine, this is arginine, you know, this is arginine, and lysine, you know, arginine and lysine. What is the function of arginine? This is what? Methionine. And this is homocysteine. Methionine, when you remove one methyl group, it becomes homocysteine. When you add one methyl group, it becomes methionine. So this two reaction this is done by methionine synthase. And this is done by actually after conversion into SAM. It is part of activated methionine cycle, activated methyl cycle. Okay. Now this is cysteine. You can see the difference between cysteine and homocysteine. This is similar, one carbon, and when you remove one carbon between carbon, this becomes what? Cysteine. So this one carbon methyl group difference. This is adds adenosyl. This adds sulfur group. This adenosine is attached like this. So this draws electron here. This also draws electron. This will become fragile bond, and that is why transfer potential is very high. So we have already seen this. You know this. This is activated methionine cycle. This methionine converts into homocysteine through activated methionine cycle. Activated methionine, activated methyl cycle, whatever you say, it will convert into then, and then homocysteine converts into cystathione to cysteine through transsulfuration reaction. Okay, this is methyl tetrahydrofolate. This methyl group is present here in methyl tetrahydrofolate. And this methyl tetrahydrofolate supplies this. So you can see this amino acid, cysteine, homocysteine, acetinosyl methionine, and methionine. So branch chain amino acids are there. Disorder is maple syrup urine disease, propionic aciduria. So let's finish this question, okay? 2-3 within 2-3. Which of the following acid is not an essential amino acid? Yes. Be quick, please. Sonia. Tyrosine, yes. Amino acid residue of albumin which has role in as buffer to balance acid base in blood.
Histidine.
Very good. This is a very important question, okay? These are an important question. So histamine is synthesized from, you know this. You go through this. Catecholamine is synthesized from, you know it. Active methyl donor for conversion of epinephrine to epinephrine is, you know that, SAM. Indolamine is synthesized from, indolamine is nothing but serotonin. Because tryptophan has got indole group. I will tell you. This is indole group. And that is why I've introduced you with the terminology. This is indole group. One phenyl, two cycle group is indole. One phenyl, this is pyrrole. Pyrrole, this is benzene or phenyl. So this is indole. That is why indolamine. Sometimes it is also called indolamine. As catecholamine, it is called indolamine. Serotonin is synthesized from, because it is serotonin, you know this, is tryptophan. Chief amino acid responsible for buffer action of protein is, you know this. Vitamin involved in sulfur, vitamins involved in sulfur containing amino acid catabolism. You know this? This is vitamin B6, 9, and 12. Add 3 to here, 6, you add 3, it becomes 9, you add 3. Easy to remember. So, which of the following amino acid is amino acid? Proline. Protein synthesized in highly specific process occurs in ribosome. Only specific stereoisomer of amino acid is incorporated into the protein. Which of the following isomer of amino acid? L-alpha. You know that. So, which of the following is standard amino acid? Standard amino acid is a. So here hydroxyproline you have to say, because it is a standard is present in protein. That is why standard. Modified proline is a standard amino acid. Metabolic pathway of sulfur containing amino acid, requires this, and this. Which of the following is not a sulfur containing amino acid? Very easy. Very easy. Threonine is not a sulfur containing amino acid. So aromatic amino acids are very important for synthesis of neurotransmitters and hormones, and are related to various inborn error of metabolism. Aromatic amino acid, very important. Phenylalanine is very important in terms of inborn error of metabolism. Which of the following is not aromatic amino acid? Yes, which of the following? Threonine is not. Sometimes you confuse, but now you don't confuse. Gluconeogenic amino acid succinate, joint succinate, require biotin and cobalamin. You already know. VIM, valine isolation methionine. So creatine is synthesized from amino acid. Which of the following amino acids are involved in synthesis of creatine? GAM, glycine, arginine, methionine. You know that. So melanin is pigment secreted by melanocytes. It supports skin UV sun, and it protects from it. And which of the following amino acid substrate for melanin synthesis? So melanin synthesis is done by this. If there were tyrosine, you could have gone for tyrosine, but there no confusion. Phenylalanine through tyrosine, it will synthesize melanin. So catecholamine. So such an important molecule synthesized from which of the following? Means gaseous hormone. You can see this as neurotransmitter and hormone. Catecholamines. Okay, sorry. Catecholamines are both neurotransmitter and hormone. If it is in brain, it is neurotransmitter. If it is outside, secreted by adrenal gland, it is hormone. Neurotransmitter plays very important role in nervous system and control autonomic and sensory motor function. Such important molecule is synthesized from very easy. It is synthesized from tyrosine. So hormone neurotransmitter exists in gaseous form. So what is clear intracellular receptor, guanyl cyclase. This molecule is synthesized from arginine. Non-standard amino acid synthesized from this is donor. Okay, donor of methyl is synthesized from methionine. It is talking about SAM. So glutathione is highly specific. So what is glutathione? Glutamate, thio means cysteine, and one means glycine. Glutathione. Non-standard amino acid which act as neurotransmitter is GABA. It is non-standard, made from this. This is GABA. So amino acid metabolism, again the same thing we will start in next day. Okay, so I think we have completed many things. Amino acid catabolism and disorder. Okay.